So neutrinos are difficult to study, which is what you should get from this tiny neutrino stuffed animal bandit picture. They're challenging to measure because they have no charge, so they don't do much in particle detectors. And they have tiny mass. For a while, at the beginning of my career, we thought no mass at all. Now we know they do have mass and they do oscillate. And as I said before, they hardly ever interact at all. 3 trillion of them fly through your hand every 3 seconds. In short, neutrino oscillations are when one flavor of neutrino evolves over time or travels over some distance and spontaneously turns into another flavor of neutrino. And you can see that in this diagram. We start with a bunch of muon type neutrinos and we let them evolve over time or travel some distance. And then we measure the same beam to see if any of them have disappeared and turned into another flavor of neutrino. Tells us that neutrinos mix and have mass. And this sounds sort of crazy, but in fact, you can prove it with a little bit of quantum mechanics, and of course we observe it.
So here's my software that I use to do a lot of my work. This is Ableton Live. And what I've got in here are some synthesizers down at this rack. But they produce sine tones, so a very simple waveform. We can visualize that. We can visualize the amplitude. It's constant, like a rectangle. But what I can do is introduce a second sine tone. So we get a lovely pattern of peaks and troughs, and that's our analogy for two neutrino waves of different masses coming in and out of phase and canceling each other out. But we know there are three. That's three with an asterisk, right, Bonnie? 3 neutrino types? Yeah.
So far, yes.
But let's have a third one in there. We don't know the exact, let me see if I get this right. We don't know the exact masses of the neutrinos, but we do know that 2 of them are close together and 1 of them is further away. That's right, Bonnie?
That's right. We can't actually measure their absolute mass. It's too tiny. But we can see that there is a mass difference between the different neutrinos. And one of those mass difference gaps is small and the other one is larger.
So I've been able to approximate that. But I hope that one day we will be able to get the exact numbers and the exact ratio. You think it's likely in our lifetime, Bonnie?
I hope so.
And if we get that, then I can update the analogy. But here's what that sounds like. So we see that the pattern takes longer to unfold this time. We've got a more complex set of oscillations.